I didn't mean to go live. Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm live. Hey, everyone. It's your boy, the late Lord Haven. Back at it again with another live stream. It's been a while. I've been working very hard on another video, that being a June video. So the Bronn video, of course, big success. So I thought, that's what the people want. They want me to compare books and shows / TV, you know. Compare the original source material with the adaptation, mix clips and humorous editing with animation, that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to do from now on. Obviously not solely that. I also want to continue doing house histories and, you know, things that are exclusively animation, but book versus show, book versus film, etc. That seems like the way forward for the channel. And so with June Part 2 coming out in the cinema, I'm seeing it tomorrow, I'm very excited. My plan is to create a video where I'm basically comparing the first half of the first book to the first Denis Villeneuve movie, you know, Dune Part 1. And I've been working hard on that. It was supposed to be out today, but this one in particular has been very slow for me. I'm very burnt out. I think I've got burnt out. So it's coming out next Friday. And then after that, we'll go back to A Song of Ice and Fire content. But hopefully we can sort of jump between A Song of Ice and Fire and Dune. And if you don't like Dune, that's fine. You can just wait for the A Song of Ice and Fire stuff. And then 2024 is the year where Lord Haven's going to expand. That's okay. Don't take that out of context. That's kind of weird. This is the year where I'm going to just jump into more stuff, like maybe some Tolkien, maybe some Witcher, maybe some people telling me about a CK3 mod called Godheerja, maybe. There's so much stuff I'm going to do this year. And June is the first foray out of A Song of Ice and Fire, so that means it's either going to be super successful or the video's going to flop. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm already rambling about something that's not relevant to the video. Is the screen black for everyone? It shouldn't be black. It should be Bronn's face. There we go. Big man Bronn. Can you see it? Oh, for goodness sake, no. Of course the screen's blank. I haven't actually, Oh, for goodness... this... God damn it. I'm using Streamlabs, and I keep fucking it up. Like, yeah, I didn't realise it would directly start the stream early. I haven't even... Oh, no. No, not dashboard. Don't take me to the dashboard. Oh, my God. Everyone's just staring at a black screen, aren't they? Hold on. We got this. It's okay. We got this. We don't got this. Hold on. Window capture. Come on. Show... let me... Ah, there we go. The real Bronn. Hey! That's great. The Boomer Lord Haven! Boomer Haven succeeds. Can everyone see that now? Okay, can everyone see that on the screen? I hope so. Is it still black? God damn it. How can this be? The stream is dark and full of shenanigans. Okay, what if I... Bronn in the show and Bronn in... How's that? Is that playing? Hey, there we go. Why does anyone watch my channel? Okay, so this is what the stream's going to be. We're going to, as usual, commentary track. We're going to go through my video. I'm going to talk about the video making process. I'll be talking about Bronn in the books and the show. If you have any questions, any theories, any ideas that you want to throw out about Bronn, whether it's Jerome Flynn or Book Bronn, do whatever. But feel free to send in a super chat. You can put it in a chat and have fun discussions, or you can send in a super chat that I can read out personally. If you go into the description, hopefully, I got a bit distracted there. In the description, I should have a link to Streamlabs, so that way you can donate a super chat without YouTube taking like 40% of it or whatever they take. So you can donate via YouTube, but they will take a bit of it, which kind of sucks for me and also for you. But Streamlabs in the description, and you can, you know, if you want to send me $5, I get all the $5. YouTube doesn't like take $3, right? Okay, I think we should get started. I think we've waited long enough for people to come into the stream, and hopefully this one doesn't crash like the CK3 one last week crashed when I tried using Streamlabs. This is very messy, very chaotic. I started it too early. I didn't get the screen up, and yet we are ready. So let's start jumping into our video. Let me get this up on my phone, actually. Bronn livestream. Yeah, this is very late, this livestream. This should have been, like, the day after I published my Bronn video and it got really popular. I don't know why I waited to... Oh, well, let's carry... Okay, so first off, and again, this is like... Let me get captions on. This is a fun little thing. So right at the bat, I decided to start with Bronn's face. Then I zoom in immediately because it's instant action. There's like an instant edit that goes whoop and immediately sucks you into the video. Oh, and YouTube has a very nice subtitle system where instead of typing in manually, you can type your entire script in and then it will try and correlate your script with when it's said in the video, and generally it's quite good. You need to like do a bit of editing, but it's save you a lot of time. Bronn in the show and Bronn in the books are similar beasts with different journeys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really proud of the horse riding. I don't know why, but because obviously I try new things with the animation. Let's get it back up. Are similar beasts with different... I don't know why they're so fun to me. Journeys. Both are cutthroat sellswords. See, something... Yeah, no. The little intro, I'm just taking clips that appear later on in the video as like a little teaser, so I'll expand upon them when I reach them. Both are cunning opportunists. But while Bronn from Game of Thrones rapidly rises through the ranks to become Master of Coin, somehow, Bronn from A Song of Ice and Fire may just decide who sits the Iron Throne. See, now that is an intro. The classic... seed a bunch of questions that you know the audience will want to be answered, and then they're more likely to stick with the video and see how it progresses. Because again, that's not clickbait, right? Bronn could decide who sits the Iron Throne. If he, as Lord of Stokeworth and potentially Lord of Rosby, is able to embargo King's Landing, that could contribute towards young Griff or Daenerys taking King's Landing. So he could impact that, right? It could be slight hyperbole, but... This is the story of the... Oh, and that's my new background. The Fantasy Haven sigil. It kind of looks like blue runes, but it's an FH on gold. If you want, I think I should have this up on my Patreon for the wallpaper. I forgot what the tier's called, but I think, is it Lord? Is it just the Lord tier on my Patreon where you get access to wallpapers? I think I've got this one on there. I really like it. Which, obviously, right, I made it, but I mean... It's a lot better than some of my old stuff. The gold background with like the text that said Fantasy Haven. It was cute. It wasn't great. Real Bronn. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the show version or the book version, and why. See, the whole comment thing is twofold, right? So on one hand, yes, commenting helps the algorithm, and it is good to have people engaged. And if people engaged, want to watch more videos and so on. But also, I genuinely want comments, right? Like, I'm when I say that, it's like I want to like comments and reply to them and see what people's takes are on book versus show Bronn. Because show Bronn's awesome, right? Show Bronn is awesome. Show Bronn's character isn't ruined. His storyline goes in a stupid direction, but as a character, he's consistent, and he's suddenly more likable, more charismatic than book Bronn. That's for sure. Like, I read book Bronn and I was like, this guy's fun. And then I watched the show and I was like, oh, way more charisma, way more likable in the show. He just goes in a stupid direction. In the first 4 seasons of the show, these characters share similar paths. Bronn, a sellsword, helps to escort Catelyn Stark to the Vale, before championing Tyrion in a trial by combat. Of course, using the Kevin MacLeod Incompetech.com free music. There's a list that I like to reuse because I think it's nice background music. Against Savardis Egan, and let me know about the audio, by the way. Is the audio all good? He wins due to his speed and agility. He then enters Tyrion's employ, escorting him to safety and taking part in the Battle of the Green Fork. We learn details about show Bronn that aren't in the book. He killed a woman aged 12 in self-defense. He has a younger brother, and he's even ventured beyond the wall. So yeah, this is quite interesting. This is stuff that from what I remember, we learned during this tent scene, where they're doing a drinking game. Like, they're basically saying, drink if you've ever done this, or whatever. And we learn a bunch of stuff about Bronn that's never described in the books. We barely know anything about his past in the books, but in the show we learn that he killed his first person when he was 10 with an axe. Oh no, I can't remember if he had the axe or if the woman was attacking him with an axe. But either way, he was 12 years old at the time. He talks about having a younger brother. Talks about having an abusive father. Talks also about, perhaps most interestingly, he mentions that he's been beyond the wall, which has led to all kind of speculation. Like, was he there on a... And oh yeah, I think he's asked why he was there, and he said work or something. So, was it a job? Was he... Why would a sellsword be hired to go beyond the wall? That's kind of like, what's he doing? Do the Night's Watch hire sellswords? Not that we know of. Would a wildling hire a southern sellsword? Of course not. Was he being hired to like assassinate or kill someone beyond the wall? That's strange. Why would he do that? Video clips. The audio of the video clips not very. Oh yeah, I'll make that higher actually. Let's go up to -3. Yeah, there we go. And so I think my personal theory is that he's probably a black... I was supposed to say a Blackfire deserter because I saw Aegor Bittersteel in the chat. God damn it. He's probably a Night's Watch deserter. I kind of like that idea. That he kind of had or either a Night's Watch deserter turned sellsword, or a wildling north of the wall who basically fled down south. That could explain the whole killing his first person when he was 12 years old, killing a woman. Maybe it was like a spear wife, and he's his first kill. And I don't know. Maybe Benioff and Weiss just wanted a deliberately vague background that sounded cool, like, oh, he killed someone when he was a child, and he's been beyond the wall. Oh, what does this mean? Blah blah blah. Because it's never expanded upon. But I think Night's Watch deserter is kind of my headcanon for show Bronn. I think that's cool. And the show does pay attention to accents. So characters in the North do have northern accents. So the Starks, the Mormonts, the Umbers, the Karstarks. The Boltons don't. For some reason, Roose Bolton and Ramsay Bolton both have southern English accents for some reason. But everyone else in the North has a northern accent, generally a Sheffield-style accent modelled after Sean Bean. North of the Wall, the wildlings tend to have a mixture of either generic northern English accents or Scandinavian accents, in the case of Tormund and Carsey and the person who was recast to play the Lord of Bones. Whereas Mance Rayder and Ygritte have northern English accents. And so Bronn's actor, Jerome Flynn, also a singer, by the way. Look up, when you're finished with this live stream, look up Up on the Roof by Robson and Jerome. Up on the roof. You see Jerome Flynn in the 90s like dancing on top of the on top of a roof. Anyway, yeah, Jerome Flynn is a bit of a geezer. He's a bit of a lad. He's got that kind of accent. But in the show, he's putting on a pretty cool Northern English accent. And so it could just be a creative choice that he decided with, I want to be a Northern sellsword, or it could be deliberate. The producers were like, okay, let's give this character a Northern accent, imply that he is from the North, which again could feed into the idea that, is he from the Night's Watch, is he a wildling, etc. But yeah, character even, let's continue, has a Northern accent, so perhaps he's from the North. Bronn continues to protect Tyrion in King's Landing, acting as his friend and bodyguard. He's named Captain of the City Watch after Janos Slynt is sent to the Wall. He personally guards the acting Hand of the King and later partakes in the Battle of Blackwater Bay, launching the flaming arrow that activates Tyrion's wildfire trap. See, that's interesting, because obviously in the book, that's not what happens. He doesn't launch a flaming arrow, he's just in charge of the oxen that are pulling the great chain, because there's a chain that isn't in the show. It's a giant chain that raises up from the Blackwater and traps Stannis' fleet in Blackwater Bay. And this was something that actually existed back in the day, but usually it would be a great chain that would block ships from coming past a certain point, not trapping them in. And they're trapped within the bay to then be destroyed by wildfire. But the show, presumably the giant chain would have been too expensive, impractical, etc. So instead they just made it a wildfire trap. And they had Bronn activate it with a flaming arrow, which is pretty cool. And I didn't talk about this in the video, but obviously we know in later on in this video I show off Bronn's sigil, the coat of arms he gives himself. That being the my mind's going blank. Oh, the flaming chain. Yeah, the green flaming chain representing the chain that he helped pull across for Tyrion on Smoky Grey. In the show, although we don't see it that much, his official sigil is a flaming arrow, in reference to what he did on the Blackwater. And I think in season 4 and 5, when we'll see it later on, when he's wearing his fancy outfit. Again, the quality's not good enough, but in high definition pictures you can see tiny arrows on his sleeves as a reference to his sigil. So that's cool. But as some people pointed out in the comments, if you shoot a flaming arrow, although we see that a lot in fantasy, what actually happens in real life 99% of the time is the flames go out while the arrow's sailing through the air. So realistically, Bronn would have shot the arrow and the flames would have gone out and it just would have been an arrow plopping into some green sea, but there we go. Wildfire trap. He's booted from the City Watch by Tywin, but also knighted. The other Lannister siblings have plans for him. Oh yeah, there's and I'm sure many of you know this by now, but there's a interesting little production tidbit that Lena Headey and Jerome Flynn used to date, and clearly it didn't go well because during Game of Thrones, when they found out that the other had been cast in the show, they had a clause in their contracts to not have a single scene with each other, which means Bronn and Cersei never interact at all. They're not in a scene together. They never speak to each other. Even the great dragon pit scene in season 7. I said great as if the scene was great. I didn't mean that. It's not. But the dragon pit scene in season 7 in the finale, episode 7, I believe, Bronn and Podrick are like, "Oh, let's go off and drink. Let's catch up and leave everyone else to go on a dragon pit because Cersei's there and my contract says I'm not allowed to be there with her." Yeah, no idea of what that is. From the outside, that comes across as like insanely petty, but also don't know what. No idea what they what that was all about. But yeah, not the best relationship, I guess. In fact, I think the only scene they're together is after this one, right? The beginning of season 3, where Cersei leaves Tyrion's room and like walks around Bronn. But maybe it was like a body double for Bronn because it's shot from the back. I don't know. He helps to train the one-handed Sir Jaime Lannister, while Cersei Lannister marries him to Lolis Stokeworth, the daughter of Lord Stokeworth. Yeah, so in the show, they talk about Lolis Stokeworth's father. When her father dies, her older sister becomes Lady Stokeworth, blah, blah, blah. So in the book, it's Lady Tanda Stokeworth, but in the show, I think to simplify it, they went Lord Stokeworth, right? Because they were like, when her father dies, Lolis her older sister will inherit. Because if they said if her mother dies, casual viewers might have been like, wait, hold on, her mother? Why is that relevant? Surely the father is a lord, because, So I don't mind simplification like that. Essentially a bribe to prevent him from championing Tyrion during his trial by combat. Book Bronn is similar, but there's more to his tale. Now we move on to Book Bronn, and I drew him with some simple chainmail, a dirk on his belt. I gave him a 5 o'clock shadow. He's described as having some stubble in the first book, and in the second book onwards he's clean shaven. I gave him a sharp jaw, a bit of a butt chin to show ruggedness, coal black hair and kind of he's described as having cat-like eyes. So I kind of give him quite narrow, slightly upturned eyes. Bronn is described as thin and sharp as a bone, a ruthless man with a wolfish smile. Alright, we need to address this. I'm humbly asking you, the fans, what do we think about my characters having mouths? Because I've grappled with this my whole YouTube career. Feels like my whole life. Should I give mouths to these characters? To me, it feels like it's too late, right? Like, I have a style. It's the round head, the big eyes, the chest, kind of chest piece body. Adding in a smile. Cons, like I said, it feels like it's too late. It would be a lot of work to retroactively go back and add smiles to every character. Every time they change their expression, I'd need like several variations on each character. It could take a long time. On the other hand, it does give like triple the personality to each character, right? So I have to work with changing the eyes around, the eyelids / eyebrows to imply, to convey emotion. Adding in a smile can completely switch that up. So already you can see that this is going for kind of cocky, sardonic, dangerous. Another thing I've thought of is, what if I add mouths to my main characters, but like the side characters and the background people, like peasants, nobles, guards, whatever, don't have mouths. They're like the standard, they're the stock. And then the main ones do have mouths. What do we think? I genuinely want to know. Let me know. Let me know. Why don't I do a poll? How about that? I'll do a poll, should I? Start a poll. So, should I add mouths, or should I keep them with no mouths? I'm curious. Or again, there's some nuance there. So, let me know in the chat if I should do it sometimes for specific occasions, etc., as a joke. The poll is in the chat. Feel free to vote. Couldn't Bronn's accent be because Jerome is Irish and couldn't affect it? Jerome Flynn, I don't know if he's of Irish heritage, but if you hear him in interviews, he's got like a kind of a Southern English kind of almost Cockney accent. He's got a bit of a geezer accent, He doesn't have an Irish accent, from what I remember. I could be completely wrong. I'm just checking the chat. Take a shot every time Quinn mentions he's in law school. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Mouths is winning by 58%. 58 to 42. So we are kind of split on it. It's not... No side is running away with the victory exactly. 33 votes in. People want Mouths, but some people are like, no. Okay. Okay, while we're voting, let me double check. Streamlabs, is everything running fine? Yeah, it looks like everything is running fine. Perfect. Again, if anyone has any specific questions, feel free to support the channel through a super chat, either through YouTube or through Streamlabs in the description. It goes a long way to supporting the channel, which is my job, as I often say. Somehow this is my job. Okay, let's end the poll now. No, I'll leave it running for a bit. Let's continue the video. Smile. He rides with a fellow sellsword named Chigan. Chigan. I don't know what George was thinking when he came up with the sellsword names. Chigan. That's just chicken, right? I don't know. Oh, another thing. So, originally, George R. R. Martin, he didn't necessarily have long-term plans for Bronn, and this is part of his gardening approach to writing, where he's like, okay, so Catelyn needs some knights and to follow her. Let's say they're a bannerman of House Tully. Yeah, that makes sense. So there are a couple Brackens, 3 Brackens actually, that follow her. Oh, maybe some sellswords, Bronn and Chicken, sure. They go through, some of them will die naturally, rest in peace. Bronn needs someone to champion him. Maybe one of the sellswords puts himself forward. Oh, and has to win, obviously. So let's go with Bronn. And then Bronn wins against Vardasegan. I guess Bronn's going to follow him back and escort him through the Vale, right? And then the next thing you know, he realises he's working with gold, and he's got a fun dynamic between Tyrion and Bronn survives and becomes a big character. Not a big character, but like an interesting kind of tertiary character, which is pretty cool. It's the Garden approach. He has ideas for Tyrion, he's got plans for Tyrion, but side characters like Bronn, they just suddenly appear, and he decides to grow them like a plant and nurture them and nourish them and see where they go, which is really cool. In another timeline, there is no Bronn. In another timeline, Tyrion's best friend is Chigan the sellsword. There is no Bronn, there's Chigan. He chooses the other one. How stupid would that be? Imagine. And yes, we have Tyrion. As you can see, I draw him with the hair that's described as being so pale it's almost white. Green eye and black eye, different coloured. He's definitely not as ugly. I haven't drawn him as being as ugly as he could. Roderick Cassell with his whiskers, and I revamped Catelyn Stark because I had an old character model for Catelyn Stark from like early Fantasy Haven days, and it was really out of date with everything else. So I was like, I I need to redraw her. So, yeah, I think I took a previous template and adjusted it. Yeah. And the both of them seize the opportunity to escort Catelyn Stark to the Eyrie. On the way, he fights against mountain clansmen, puts the wounded Chicken out of his misery, and develops a rapport with the captured dwarf. So what happens is that while they're travelling, wildlings attack them, and Chicken gets an arrow in his stomach, I think, and Bronn cuts his throat. To show how brutal he is. I got a couple of fun comments about my art, by the way, just looking at this image. I got one person being like, quite respectfully being like, yeah, sorry, I like the idea, but the art isn't for me. It's a bit too Microsoft Paint. Is it meant to be a parody? A bit passive aggressive, but I was like, yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. And then someone else was like, dude, this art is trash. This art is fucking trash, bruh. The fuck is wrong with you? I was like, damn, you really don't like my... Ooh. Who pissed in your cereal, you know? I'm just dropping shit over my desk. I apologise. Let me stop fiddling with the rings, otherwise it's going to be annoying. So I also, have the redesigned Lysa, because... Oh no, not redesigned. I didn't have a Lysa. And Robin Aaron, there he is. There they are. Okay, shall we end the mouth poll? 52 to 48. Oh, god damn it. Why do I always get American election results? 5 minutes, 47 votes. I think I'm going to end it here. That's really split. There is a majority of people who think I should add mouths to my characters, but quite a lot of people as well just being like, nah. I think I'll double check the chat to see if anyone has any specific comments about the mouths, because the only significant difference of Bronn having a northern accent is that the producers think it makes someone sound dirty in common. Oh my goodness. You said it, not me. It could be that northern accent's more associated with being working class in this country, for better or for worse. So it could be that they wanted to show Bronn's humble roots by giving him a northern accent here, I guess. Is Bronn Mance's real father? You like the smirk because it looks wolfish. Something for specific. The mouth could be something for specific characters, but not all of them. Don't add mouths. Friendless Norseman, like don't add mouths, bro. This man does not want mouths. He's insistent. Mouths only when it's specifically called out for a character. Adding mouths is like when Lego games added full voice acting. That's amazing. I like that. It would have just ruined the style. Okay, right, I think we should continue. Just double check in the chat. Okay. What's that in the corner? Is that a bottle of full fat milk? Special Vale brand. Interesting. Tyrion demands a trial by combat. The sellsword tries his luck. The light and lithe mercenary defeats the heavily armoured Savardis Egan by crushing him with a statue. Yeah, this was this was quite fun. This little section. Lithe mercenary defeats the heavily armoured. Yeah, I had fun with that. Oh, who's that? It's a little cameo. It's Lord Haven. What's he doing there? What's he doing watching this go down? I didn't realise he was a Vale Knight. Well, I do like the Vale. I do like the Eyrie. I would probably be a chivalrous knight of the Eyrie. That's where I'd want to be. Maybe not with Lysa and Sweet Robin in charge, but I think it'll be a cool vibe up there, you know? Again, I keep saying this. I'm scared of heights, but I like the Eyrie quite a lot, so... I'll be just chilling there with some warm milk. Haven drinking his daily protein. Yeah, you're right. I'm a small guy. I gotta grow. Him with a statue. With the promise of Lannister gold, he escorts Tyrion from the Vale, finds him a camp follower named Shae, and fights at the Battle of the Green Fork. Yeah, finds him, by which he means Tyrion basically beats up a knight who refuses to relinquish her. He's like, oi, give her over. From the Vale, finds him... I'm really happy with this drawing of Shae, by the way. I really think I've captured her vibe with the short hair, the large dark eyes. A camp follower named Shae and fights at the Battle of the Green Fork. He then accompanies Tyrion, the newly made acting hand of the king, to King's Landing. After all, a Lannister always pays his debts. Bronn continues to be Tyrion's man and is named Captain of the Red Cloaks, Tyrion's personal Lannister guard. So yeah, slight change from the show, where in the show he becomes the new Lord Commander when Janos Slynt is sent to the Wall, which I think is a fine change. I would have liked to see Bronn with a gold cloak in that season, but the idea is that Tyrion is accumulating power, he's putting his pawns in place on the great chessboard in the Game of Thrones, right? In the book, he appoints Jacqueline Bywater, Jacqueline Bywater to be his man, his Lord Commander of the City Watch, although Jacqueline goes on to be shot through the neck with an arrow or a crossbow bolt during the Battle of the Blackwater, and then, you know, someone loyal to Tywin, I believe, is put in power instead. So, you know, the Storm is all about him losing that power that he's built up in Clash when Tywin arrives. And so, in the show, they represented his power by, you know, again, instead of adding Jacqueline Bywater, just have Bronn be Commander of the City Watch. I like that. That's an example of a good change, a good streamline change, in my opinion. But yeah, no, in the book, Captain of the Lannister Guard, he wears a red cloak, and he shaves himself, makes himself look nice and slick. He becomes a diligent ally. He hires almost 800 sellswords. Lannister Guard. He becomes a diligent... So yeah, that sigil in the background, not highest res, unfortunately. I probably should have found a better one. That is Tyrion's coat of arms. His personal coat of arms, when he's the acting hand of the king, is a big gold hand to, of course, symbolise his position. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lions surrounding the hand. Diligent ally. He hires... Yes, thank you, Casper, for reminding me. Adam Marbrandt becomes the new commander of the Gold Cloaks. And he's not, you know, he's not Tyrion's man. He's not a Tyrion loyalist. Almost 800 sellswords to protect his new patron. Helps Tyrion find conspirators to free Jaime Lannister from... Oh, yeah, someone in the chat said Shae is like 12 in the books, right? Tyrion's not that old, actually, in the books. He's 26 in the first book, or 28. He's not that old. Oh shit, he's 26, isn't he, Tyrion? He's a year older than me. That's bizarre. In my head, Tyrion's like... While I'm good at differentiating show and book... Excuse me. While I'm good at differentiating show and book characters because I read the books first, in my head Tyrion has like a kind of 30s vibe to him, not really late 20s. So I'm always surprised when I'm like, oh shit, he's like 26. But anyway, yeah, Shae's 18. And in the show, she is a German porn star who can't act. Arguably the only bad actor in the entirety of Game of Thrones is Shae. I can't think of... Oh. No, the Sand Snakes weren't... The Sand Snakes weren't bad actresses. They were just badly directed. In the sense of they have been in other things where they've been good. One of them is an Oscar nominated, maybe Oscar winning. Someone else has gone on to be in lots of stuff I've seen her in where she's very good. So I don't think the Sand Snakes were bad actresses. I think it was just bad script, bad direction. The woman who played Shae, very bad actress. Awkward accent. Again, having an accent doesn't mean you're bad. Melisandre, Carice Van Houten has a Dutch accent. She's amazing. But Shae in the show just... Oh, just terrible. And what's bizarre... This is what's funny, right? So, there are lots of changes to the show from the books that are bad. There are changes that are good. Blah blah blah. Things need to be adapted. One thing I really don't like is the fact that Tyrion and Shae's story got turned into a love story. That instead of Tyrion deluding himself into believing that a prostitute who's using him for money and status was genuinely in love with him, instead of that, it becomes oh no, the young noble and the prostitute with the heart of gold genuinely do fall in love. But the issue there is that then her betrayal makes no sense, because you're telling me that she literally condemns him to death by testifying against him because she's mad at him for sending her away. Like, really? And then the show has to justify him killing her by having her pick up the knife and attack him first. And it's just messy at the end. And you'd think, okay, yeah, This is a dodgy change. It didn't need to happen. You should have just kept it as Tyrion deluding himself that she was never really in love with him. I wonder if George R. R. Martin agrees. He must do, right? Because it's such a... It's a poorly handling that aspect of Tyrion's plot, right? But no. George R. R. Martin, who, by the way, there's that whole, like, hour-long documentary where he spends time with Shay's actress, and she's, like, borderline flirting with him, and he's, like, giggling the whole time. It's really odd. He was like, oh, she was amazing. He was like, was she, George? Was she a great actress, was she? That's interesting. He's like, she was amazing, and I prefer what they did in the books by having them be in love. I was like, no, how can you prefer the worst version? You wrote the original version. That's so weird. God damn. That's what a substandard cat will get you. Falling head over heels. Oh well. But yeah, Shay rant out the way. Not a fan of Book Shay in terms of storyline and acting, but yeah, Book Shay is pretty cool. I also want to shout out my patrons. Speaking of the word patron, so my highest tier patrons, my Lord of Light, get to have a cheeky cameo in each of my videos, or not all of them, but like at least one a month. And so here we have one of my patrons. I won't say their names in case they don't want me to say their names, but here's one of them with. He's drawn as a knight, and he has a lion holding a dagger, which is actually taken from his family's coat of arms. To protect his new patron, helps Tyrion, and here we have another. Let me remove here's another Lord of Light patron. Again, it's a knight character with a bird flying above a fort that he commissioned me to draw. Find conspirators to free Jaime Lannister from custody, and protects water wagons dealing with the fires following the King's Landing riot. Bronn is busy. Bronn is busy in the Clash of Kings. Tyrion's enforcer. He even hires 3 double agents to spy on Cersei. The Kettleblack brothers. Oh, who thinks I should do a video on the Kettleblack brothers? I think that would be fun. Like, just going through all their schemes and what they get up to, and the fact they're like triple agents. I'm gonna have some water. Who said bad pussy lady is hot sweating emoji? Come on, man. Come on, man. This is a Haven live stream. Let's have some self-respect. Let's have some dignity. Let's be sensible and calm and collected. No sweating face emojis. No simping. Let's just embrace it. Nah, you can do what you want. Tyrion is a stereotypical millennial. Doesn't have a house, hates his father, and probably eats avocado. God damn it. Yes, so Kettleblack brothers. Let's dive into them. Sellswords all, who Cersei believes work for her. Sir Osmond is named to the Kingsguard, while Sir Osfrid later becomes commander of the City Watch. Alright, wait, someone in the chat said, April May said, I do not blame the actress for Shay's flip. Yeah, no, I'm not saying the actress is to blame. That's Benioff and Weiss' blame for writing that way. I'm just saying the writing for her was bad, and I think the actress was bad. And Sir Osney becomes Cersei's sworn sword. Unbeknownst to Bronn and Tyrion, however, they are actually triple agents, working for Littlefinger himself, as he reveals to Sansa Stark in the... Oh, hey, and we have Elaine Stone and Littlefinger. Vale. I also redesigned Sansa, because my old Sansa design was based off of my old Catelyn design, so they were both really out of date. When Bronn isn't scheming with Tyrion, of course, he's busy cavorting with cheap prostitutes. Okay, and here we have another cameo. One of my Lord of Light patrons in the back. This is actually the PNG he wanted. He commissioned me to draw Thoros of Myr. So this is so I have 2 Thoros of Myr drawings. I have when he's like young and fat and cheery, and then I have Brotherhood Without Banners Thoros, where he's got a big beard and he's dishevelled, and I drew a version for my patron where he's wielding a flaming sword. And I thought it would be funny to put him in the back of a brothel, because why not? Oh, there's a very lovely comment in the comments, because when I said he was busy cavorting with cheap prostitutes, someone quoted this line and called me a misogynist for using the phrase cheap prostitute. I'm not sure why, because they are prostitutes, and the word prostitute is probably the nicest way of saying it without being demonetized, and they are literally cheap because he is not earning as much money as he does later on in the books, where he starts frequenting the Street of Silk to get expensive prostitutes. But I guess saying that prostitutes are cheap when they are not worth much financially is sexist. So Lord Haven has been cancelled. I'll be doing an apology video next week. You'll get to see my face. I'll say, sorry YouTube, I fucked up. But I won't say fucked up because I'll get demonetized. I'll say, sorry YouTube, I've messed up. I'm closing down the channel. And then I'll come back in 2 weeks and pretend I never apologised. Anyway, let's move on. Nope. Why aren't you playing? During the Battle of the Blackwater, Bronn oversees the oxen pulling Tyrion's giant chain across the Blackwater. So yeah, let's just say I got a bit lazy here. I didn't animate the oxen pulling the chain. I just had an ox pop up over a map of King's Landing. It was lazy, I know, but at this point I was like, let's get the video done. This video is doing insanely well in terms of views. I did this in 6 days. I started this on a Monday and finished it on a Saturday. And when I say started, I don't mean animating. I mean research, script, audio editing, art, background art, character art, animating. I did it Monday to Saturday. I'm so proud of myself. Meanwhile, the June video has taken me 2 weeks already, and all I've done is art and a bunch of notes. God damn it. Blocking Stannis' fleet from escaping the wildfire. For his valiant efforts, he is knighted Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. On the recommendation of Lord Tywin Lannister, he takes a personal sigil, a green flaming chain on a smoking grey field. Yeah. Wait, let's get it up. Oh wait, no. Let's get the sigil up. There we go. And so then I drew a Bronn with the lovely doublet that he acquired after becoming a knight and probably ransoming some prisoners and swords and armour and so on, and getting himself some money. Boom, the flaming chain to symbolise what he got up to, Blackwater, across his chest. Kettle Blacks are the most loyal servants. What do you mean? The Kettle Blacks, I don't even think they remember who they're working for at this point. Are they working for Cersei? Are they working for Tyrion? Are they working for Littlefinger? Are they working for themselves? And show tie-in greater than book tie-in. Listen, don't make me make a book versus show for the Sand Snakes, because you know I want to do that, and we'll see. No, but okay, book tie-in is better. Obviously, she's more interesting. All the Sand Snakes, we don't know much about them. They're not super deep. They're just fun. They are fun, wacky characters, right? They each have a vibe. They each have a shtick. They each have a certain flavour to their personality, but they also have that red viper fierceness running through them all. And tie-in Sand of the book being the blonde, blue-eyed sweet scepter who secretly deals in poisons and is kind of quite murderous in her language. Show tie-in is just one of the 3 Xenia warrior princess rip-offs who says cringy stuff and then dies. Although, yes, she is hot. I will concede, if that's literally the point you're making, yeah, fine. Gatehouse Amy, what are you doing here? Shh, I'm not reusing my character, I promise. They're all unique. I don't reuse any character models. On a smoking grey field. Tywin dismisses Bronn's sellswords, bringing his own loyal red cloaks. But Bronn has risen higher. Now a knight, he begins wearing a woolen doublet. He frequents high-class brothels on the Street of Silk. See, that's why previously we have to focus on the fact that he goes to cheaper brothels, because then when he gets more money, he starts going to the Street of Silk, which is where the nobles go to. That's where all the classy prostitutes are. And I do have to apologise on the topic of not copying character models. Yes, I may have copied Serenai of Lys, the 9th mistress of Aegon the Conqueror, and given her green eyes to disguise it. I do apologise, but I was desperately looking. I was like, oh, I need to draw, god damn it, and then I just grabbed someone. I'm a hack. And he's Cole Carsnark. I've always preferred Concubine. Sounds classy AF. But Concubine is that's more like, that's long term, right? Concubine is long term. It's not really a one-off. That's not a pump and dump kind of deal. That's someone you bring along for the ride, right? That's like private. Yeah, someone says. He's even invited to attend the wedding between Tyrion and Sansa Stark. But at the end of the day, he is still... Oh yes, and of course I designed to attend specific clothing for Tyrion and Sansa. Sansa. I don't know why it came out like that. Shanja. For Tyrion and Shanja. Where they had their wedding. Before I rescued her and took her to the Vale. So that I could become Lord Protector. One day I shall marry her and sit the Iron Throne. Because chaos is a ladder. Alright, yeah, so I gave her wedding dress and then a white Stark cloak. You can imagine there's a wolf sigil on the back. And Tyrion wore a black doublet slashed with gold and a chain of gold lions and red and ruby roses, which is quite a cool design. So I was like, yeah, I'll be consistent. I'll copy the way it's... This is why it takes me so long to draw art. I don't just give them like random clothes. I actually like rifle through the books and a wiki of Ice and Fire and a search of Ice and Fire to find out exactly what the characters wear during which books. I know I don't need to because no one picks up on it / no one cares, but I kind of feel the urge to be consistent in that regard. It's incredible how I can be so like determined and lazy at the same time, just with regards to different things. Nope. Play. The wedding between Tyrion and Sansa Stark, but at the end of the day, he is still a ruthless sellsword. When the singer Simon Silvertongue tries to blackmail Tyrion with knowledge of his illicit relationship with Shae... This isn't in the show. Hold on a second. This isn't in the show. The imp orders Bronn to discreetly dispose of him. Yeah. The bard ends his days in a tasty bowl of brown. Yeah. Tyrion is full on like, I'm being blackmailed, assassinate this fool. And Bronn just kills him, and it's heavily implied that he literally just like, his remains end up in a bowl of brown to be served to the masses of King's Landing. After Tyrion is imprisoned, Bronn does not train Jaime Lannister. That role is taken by Sir Ilyn Payne, the mute slayer of Ned Stark. Oh, hold on, are we getting a plug? We got a plug! And one of the shameless silent butchers of Westeros. This one of my this is one of the few videos I have that I suppose you could actually call like a video essay. Most of my stuff is just fun animated lore, but like it's all reviews. This is one that's like actually kind of an essay. It's not super deep or anything, but it's me basically being like, okay, so Ilyn Payne kills Ned Stark. On the orders of Joffrey, Zolo the Dothraki takes Jaime's hand on the orders of Vargo Hoat, and Raymond Frey kills Catelyn on the orders of Walder Frey. And it's like, you know, these are major characters being killed / maimed, but, you know, POV characters, POV slayers, hence the title. But we don't really know that much about them. They're very minor characters, they don't have much to say. I sort of delve into the whole kind of, you know, Varys' riddle about power residing where men believe it resides. Who has the power? The sellsword. Who has the power to tell the sellsword what to do? Is it the guy with the gold? Is it the holy man? Is it the king? Etc. And I kind of delved into that because, yeah, looking at the point of view characters, one is killed by a mute who's barely in it. One is killed by a Frey called Raymond who literally has no speaking lines, and one of them loses their hand to a fat Dothraki who like hasn't appeared in a while. But yeah, check it out if you haven't already. What can I say? Or what can I say? Rodrigo says, that sounds like ADD. Yes, I do have ADHD, hence the hyper-focusing on certain aspects of video making and finding other aspects very difficult, but it tends to shift around and sometimes it can be very completely random stuff. Can't wait to see Haven's artistic take on Paul Atreides. I think I've posted pretty much every character for my June video on my Patreon Discord, so my patrons know. They've seen my Paul. They've seen my blue-eyed Muad'Dib. I love the audiobook narrator for June, where every time he says Muad'Dib, he doesn't just say Muad'Dib, he has to go Muad'Dib like that. Alright. God,
Cersei
load.
does marry him off to Lolla Stokeworth as a bribe, and Bronn refuses to fight for Tyrion.